This is a conversation that is way overdue on my channel. We need to talk about Beautycounter. What is up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a fresh installment of a Will I Buy It? So basically we're just going to be going through new beauty releases and talking about them in terms of whether or not I think they belong on my channel, whether or not I think they belong in my collection, and whether or not I think they're worth the money. We definitely have some topics that have now come up organically that I think that we really are way overdue in discussing on my channel. We're gonna get to that too. And there are definitely some interesting kind of touchy issues, but I'm gonna go through everything that I know of that's coming out. And then I also asked you guys on my Instagram what was coming out that you were interested in. And so we will go through that list as well. And then I will double check at the very end on trend moves, see if there's anything I missed in the last 5 seconds. If you do enjoy this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, and let's go ahead and get started. Oh my god, you guys. I just moved around my entire filming setup and ended up moving it right back where it started. So we are functioning on auto white balance right now, and I hope that that's okay. I'm just basically coming to terms with the fact that I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was shooting on RAW for the longest time, and it just looked like crap. I was really frustrated with my color grading because I can't trust my eyeballs. I think I need to hire someone. Anyway. That was my little piece. Okay, the first thing that I want to talk about is this new Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, and I actually don't know that much about it, but Wayne Goss was talking about it on his Instagram, and he used the word refillable. In the articles that I'm seeing online, I'm not seeing anything about it being refillable, so I'm wondering where Wayne Goss got that information from. If you guys know anything about that, definitely let me know in the comments, because that is a game changer, especially for someone like Charlotte Tilbury, who is so mainstream, because we need to really get the conversation going and more mainstream about making product packaging more sustainable. When it comes to sustainability and packaging, it really makes a huge difference regardless of what the actual outside packaging is made out of. If we can buy replacement pants, it is much more cost effective, and you only have to buy the outside packaging one time. So there are lines that already do this, obviously, but they are what I would call, indie brands, and a lot of them are kind of misclassified as being like, hippie natural brands and stuff like that. I would love to see that come more into our consciousness at Sephora, So if Charlotte Tilbury is doing a refillable bronzer, that is incredible, and I will probably buy it. If not, I'm really not that impressed. Okay, the next one is the Rowan lip glosses. I'm actually wearing the Rowan 75 Degrees Warm eyeshadow palette on my eyes today. I am so impressed with this little cream eyeshadow palette. If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you've probably heard me rave about it in the past. I've been tempted by the 1111. I've been tempted by the Cool Tone one, but guys, I really do anticipate this being the summer of the gloss. We're having a hot girl stay home summer, and it's going to be a lip gloss summer. I am well on my way to having a ridiculous collection of lip glosses, but they are the one thing that I work my way all the way through. So an eyeshadow palette or blush or anything like that, I can really love it and still never pan it. But lip glosses, I finished several Glossier ones. I finished a Kosas lip oil. I finished several Thrive ones. I have finished the St. Jane one, and right now I am absolutely obsessed with the new Wayne Goss lip glosses, and so I'm working my way through those as well. So the answer is yes, I'm going to probably buy 2 of them. I think I'm going to do the nude and maybe the next deeper shade in the Rowan, and I will review this for you guys on my channel. I hope that you enjoy that. I hope you look forward to that. I hope you find lip glosses as exciting as I do. I definitely am like a 90s kid in that sense, where I'm just like, glassy lip gloss? Tell me more. I have absolutely no diminishing returns on them. Okay, just because it's next on my list. This is a conversation that is way overdue on my channel, and we need to talk about Beautycounter. So Beautycounter is putting out a new foundation. This is the first complexion product they've put out in a long time. And I wouldn't say a lot of people, but a handful of people have messaged me multiple times to review this. There is a list of all of my most watched videos kind of down at the bottom of my front page of my channel. And among them is a Beautycounter skincare video. I used to have an agreement with one of my viewers she would send me a bunch of beauty counter stuff to try kind of as it came out, and I would make videos and then I would just send it back to her. It was a really, really cool deal. And this was years ago, but there was such a demand for it, as you can tell by the fact that that video has done really well. That has always been my motivating factor, is catering to the needs of my viewers, and people requested the heck out of Beauty Counter. And when I posted the videos, there was just a lot of really, really positive, understanding feedback, because Beauty Counter is an MLM. And it is an interesting MLM, kind of like Arbonne, or I don't know, there's a few more where you can shop them online and you don't have to go through a representative, but they still mark them up quite a bit in order to have the representative get money, you know what I mean, to make money off of the sale. And to me, when I was doing that agreement with my viewer, I saw the entire checkout process as something very similar to an affiliate, because she didn't have to stock product in order to sell it, kind of thing. So I was able to kind of hover in that gray area, and I did even at one point in an effort to monetize sales on Beauty Counter, because I was very impressed with their skincare at first. I actually signed up to become a rep, and I was like, okay, well, this will be great because then I can just monetize my links. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, the skincare just stopped working. I got the worst breakout of my life. I will stick a photo on the screen. This was probably like at the absolute height of my acne and when my picking got like the most self-loathing. By the way, guys, if you haven't watched my How I Stopped Picking video, I will link that below. It is definitely a time where I looked a little bit different, but it is still a very, very valuable video, and I get like literally the best feedback on it of any video that I've ever done. So if that's something that you struggle with, that does exist on my channel, and I'm still really proud of that video. Anyway, that was kind of my turning point, was Beauty Counter skincare, because I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. Something is wrong with my skin. That was the first reason that I decided to send the stuff back and not be a Beauty Counter rep after all. But the second reason was, you know, it was my understanding that this was just gonna be like an affiliate thing where I was gonna be able to monetize my links. And then I got this avalanche of emails, and it became very MLM very quickly. And I was like, oh my God, like so much pressure to sell, so many like crazy motivational emails about your team. And you're being contacted left and right, absolutely constantly, from every tier of the system. And I was like, oh, and I sent everything back, and I was like, this is not what I expected it to be. And more than anything, the product stopped working. Like that was the main reason that I didn't really want to talk about it anymore. Cut to last Christmas. So again, I hadn't really talked about them since probably the holiday before that. So my viewer who was sending me the stuff said, okay, I'm gonna send you the new holiday collection so that you can review it. It was just like an eyeshadow palette and like a couple of lipsticks and a blush or something. And I did a will I buy it approaching the holidays. I said, you know, will I buy the new Beauty Counter holiday collection? And I said, yes, you can expect to see it on my channel. Well, the conversation in that year between the last time I had talked about Beauty Counter and that Christmas, this past Christmas, had completely shifted. To the best of my understanding, the conversation was completely flipped by the expose on LuLaRoe that went up on Refinery 29, as well as the first season of the Dream podcast, which I highly recommend. And it really shifted the conversation from MLMs are a thing that people do to kind of plug and play, turnkey entrepreneurship. They might do well, they might not, but it's all about your dedication, and it's a thing that people can do to make money. It's a little annoying, you might get your inbox full from friends selling certain things, but it's working for them. But the reality that seemed to be exposed by those two pieces that really both went viral was that it was not the case at all, and that like 99.9% of the people signing up for these things were just buying and spending their own money and never making any money back. And the comments that I got on that video from people, especially who had either been directly affected or their friends had been directly affected by these very like predatory companies that are, you know, technically pyramid schemes. The feedback that I got from them, from very valued viewers who had been with me for years, were like, things have changed, we cannot do this anymore. And I was like, okay, I listened to my viewers, because I listened to my viewers to begin with, having to do with Beauty Counter, and the answer was loud and clear: we don't want to talk about this anymore. And I've definitely seen, I mean, not that I let this drive my actions in any way, but like there's that subreddit about beauty gurus and things like that, and man, sometimes they will just post these scathing lists of people that they're like, I cannot believe these beauty gurus still promote MLMs and blah blah blah, and like I just don't want to be in that conversation. And to me, yes, Beauty Counter does ride an interesting line of they go and they fight Congress, you know, they want better legislation for clean beauty and things like that. And their products, some of them are pretty good, but I am not willing to stake my personal reputation on that gray area when a lot of people see it as very, very black and white. It is really not that important to me to be an authority on Beauty Counter at the risk of promoting MLMs and just kind of being lumped into that category. It's not even about the criticism, it's about feeling like I am betraying the trust of some of my core viewers. And so that is why until they change their business model, you're not going to see Beauty Counter on my channel anymore. Okay, let's talk about the RMS new tinted lip balms. I am not that excited about a lip balm. They do come in 3 shades, but to the scale that I ever go off, I went off on my Instagram stories because the swatches online, and I don't necessarily blame RMS for this because they do have arm swatches, but the actual swatches on a woman's lips, I'm not sure whether they are responsible for that or whether Sephora is responsible for that. But I posted and I said, this is super frustrating because it's literally photoshopped. You just see the clear balm and then you see the 2 other colors, and on both skin tones that they show, it's just been photoshopped, altered. So it's the same photo every single time, not a real swatch. I know this is ubiquitous, but I also know that it makes everybody crazy. And I actually got a message from Rosemary and she was like, nope, those are real swatches. I was at the photo shoot myself. And I was like, are you sure? Because this photo is the same. And I mean, it's literally, there is no mistaking the fact that this is the same photo, both on the deep skin model and the light skin model. And she goes, oh, actually, I didn't know what you were talking about. I don't know what that store is. I misunderstood. And I was like, you don't know what Sephora is? To me, it was an example of like the brand owners who need to stop managing their own social media because they just tend to let emotions get in the way. But it wasn't altogether like a bad interaction, but it did seem to me that Rosemary was not necessarily responsible for those swatches. RMS was not necessarily responsible for those swatches. And there are a lot of brands that are doing it right, but obviously there's a little bit more cost overhead for that kind of thing. But I think I would rather have like no face swatches at all than fake face swatches, you know? And on another note, you know, at the risk of offending like that really, really deep RMS stan audience, I just have not had my socks knocked off by anything from RMS in a while with their new releases, and this again just isn't that exciting, so I don't think that I'm going to be spending RMS money on a lip balm. Okay, let's talk about the Viseart Aperol eyeshadow palette. Every time Viseart puts out a new edit, I am tempted, you guys, but this is an example of my fantasy self, okay? This is the same as, where is it? Oh my gosh, right here. Like the Onami Boosting Lip and Cheek Stick in Cruise. It's this gorgeous berry color that I think is going to look like vacation khaki. And then I remember, I am not actually Simply Jules. I don't have this like natural, cool toned mocha skin color where everything makes me look like a bronzed goddess. And when you look at the swatches on the fair-skinned model and the deep-skinned model, it becomes very apparent that, at least for me, this is going to be too high contrast of an eyeshadow palette for my complexion. That is a super important thing to consider when you're looking at an eyeshadow palette, is considering your skin tone. It's not just about whether or not you will wear those shades, it's also about whether those shades are workable on your skin tone to achieve the aesthetic that you have in mind. And for me, I think that the aesthetic that I have in mind is on somebody else's face entirely, because if I put those colors on my face, granted, I could get use out of them. I could, but it's very warm toned, it's very saturated, and it is like rich golds and hot pinks and things like that. And when you see it on that deep skinned model's arm, you're like, oh my gosh, like it looks so incredible. And I just need to be honest about the fact that I am milky pale and that I probably wouldn't get much use out of it, but it's so pretty. But no, I'm not going to be doing that one. The Paris edit was the closest I got to buying one of those Viseart palettes, but man, they are tempting. Okay, the Kush Triple Brow Pen. I'm not sure if this is new. This is by Milk Makeup, but it's definitely like coming up as new. Maybe they've revamped it, repackaged it, reformulated, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure that this is the one that Leanne is in love with. And if you watch Leanne, you know she would probably be the first to tell you she has annoying eyebrows. And she really, really likes this one because it's got the 3 prongs and you can kind of draw your eyebrows in. And then it's got the 1 prong in the front. I get so many requests, guys. And I'm so sorry. I get so many requests for brow routines, for different brow products, and for especially products that help you draw in your brows. There is only one disadvantage to having as much brow wealth as I do, and that is that if you try and draw them in, they go marker brows instantly. I can use some really cool toned eyebrow pencils like from Thrive or from Eye of Horus or things like that, and I can kind of fill in different areas and then just kind of blend it out like you would. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. But if we're talking about any kind of pen or marker or, you know, even brow flick, I've seen pictures of myself with brow flick and I'm like, oh, I thought I was being subtle. And no. It's just like, here comes Kackie's brows. That's all you see. And so I do have to stick with things that really groom the hairs that I already have. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm ever going to be that person who's able to very properly and in a useful way review a brow pen of any kind. So no, I will not be purchasing this. This is like almost entirely an anti-haul. So far all I have is the Rowan lip glosses. Oh, okay. The Hourglass Strobe Palette. My goodness. This is so tempting because I have been pleasantly surprised by everything that I have ever tried from Hourglass. So, girl, that strobe palette is so tempting, but at the same time, A, I have enough highlighters, B, this I believe is a re-release, and it is definitely for those die-hard Hourglass collectors who panned their last one, you know? And I did actually see on Beautylish, you can still get the Ghost Edit. That is still what I would recommend if you're a fair-skinned person. It does have like a highlighter to it and things like that. I don't think I need an entire palette of highlighters from Hourglass, but I could be convinced. So you guys just let me know. Okay. We're gonna get into a few more here that I feel like might take a little longer to talk about. So first of all, Tarte. Man, I get so many questions from you guys asking why, especially new people to my channel, they'll direct message me and be like, why out of everything that you review is Tarte never in there? And my answer is always very honest. I'm like, I buy the things that pique my curiosity, and Tarte just hasn't piqued my curiosity in a really long time. So they are putting out a shape tape shaping eyeshadow palette, and then also a like a man-eater collection. I totally have a double standard between big established brands and indie brands when it comes to inclusivity. I know that we should all aim to include everybody when it comes to skin tone, but there are brands that are, I mean, it's extremely expensive to start a makeup company, especially with complexion products, and catering to everybody isn't always possible. Sometimes there are lines that even as just like a mainstream white girl, they don't have a shade for me kind of thing. They'll have 5 shades and it won't be for me. I would just like to say that Tarte has absolutely no excuse for how uninclusive they are with their releases. I think that this is a little bit upsetting, like the fact that we have, out of all of these, like out of 30 shades, you have about 5 deep tones. That's really not that awesome for a concealer. I think that they just went for quantity over quality. But even if you disagree with me on that, if you look at like their Park Avenue Princess stuff that they're still coming out with, their Man-Eater palette, their Busy Gal Goals Eye and Cheek palette, their waterproof face and body bronzer, their creamy bronzer, even Party on the Go color collection, Sugar Rush Summer Playlist Eye and Cheek palette, everything that they put out, the colorway is geared toward white girls. Am I wrong? I'm looking at these palettes and I'm thinking there is not a deep tone that would be enough for a contour or a crease shade for anyone deeper than medium skin tone. The actual medium tone shades would probably show up kind of ashy. The glitters are going to look a little bit too pastel, those kinds of things. And for as long as Tarte has been around, I just find that they are completely ignoring the fact that this is a conversation that the rest of the beauty industry is having. I am definitely not here to like rank all of the brands in terms of their inclusivity. I think that everybody's kind of trying to do the job they can afford to do. But if I'm looking at Tarte's releases, and that's the first thing that sticks out to me, is everything is just this pale pink colorway with like the deepest brown being kind of like a coffee color. I mean, it's just loud and clear when you look at their website. And the lack of originality combined with that makes it just so that like out of everything else that's out there, I cannot convince myself that Tarte deserves my money, okay? Oh boy, okay, the Lawless Primer. It's $48, fam. Like, that's hard for me. And that's not hard for me like, oh, I don't spend 40, I mean, you know, Westman Atelier. But at the same time, I just have never had my mind blown that much by a primer. I don't know. Lawless was something that really impressed me in the very beginning of my like clean beauty journey. But now that I've tried so many things and also come back to, you know, clean beauty adjacent and more conventional beauty and compared them, it just doesn't really stand up in terms of the quality that you're getting for the, honestly, like crazy price that they charge for things. Okay, and before we jump into your questions or, you know, just like perusing your little list on Instagram, the PYT bronzer, oh my gosh, I got so many requests for this. The thing at the time was I was not wearing powder bronzers, and I'm still not wearing powder bronzers. I am in a cream all day, every day kind of vibe right now. I'm loving it. My skin is loving it. I went from week 6 through 10 of pregnancy, basically a month of my skin being so oily that all I wanted to do was wear like almost a full beat. In my world, a full beat, you know, with powder and finishing spray and everything like that. Then my skin just flipped right back to being drier than I had ever experienced. And now I'm back on creams because it's just the thing that looks the best all day long on me. And that's why I've been doing so many cream looks and been talking so much about cream products, is because it's just what my skin is happiest in right now. So all that to say, the PYT bronzer sold out. So I'll wait for it to go back in stock because I do feel like we should try it. It is a half matte, half shimmer, which could be cool if I can get a brush in like one side or the other and actually manipulate the textures on my skin. We could get kind of a twofer. And PYT is always a great bang for your buck, but it is sold out at the moment, so I'll just have to keep my eye out. I am excited for anybody who got their hands on it because apparently everybody did but me. Those were the ones that I had strong opinions on that I felt like required a conversation, you know? And if you guys have any input on any of that stuff, of course, leave it in the comments below. Happy to chat. Let's open up Instagram and just take a look at your submissions so that I can give you some answers real quick. The thing that I'm realizing is that we are growing so quickly. Hello, new people. I love you. Welcome. A lot of times, things that I have already said or already anti-hauled or already given you guys an answer on, you know, I can't rely on people to go back and watch like months old videos. That's not reasonable. And so I want to go ahead and give you guys some quick answers if there are products that I have already said yes or no on. Okay, first, Versed Skincare. It is a skincare brand that's at Target. This is something that I feel like it's not just about Versed, it's about skincare lines in general. There are a lot of channels out there where people will try an entire skincare line for like a month or 2 months or something and be able to switch all of their routine over and give a full report, very scientific, things like that. I can't do that. My skin won't do that. And I can't endanger my ability to have clear skin to review makeup and things like that by making myself so vulnerable to just the disastrous things that could happen with me disrupting my very delicate and temperamental microbiome, my moisture barrier, my just, you know, my skin is just, she's just got a lot of feelings. So I just want to be clear, I am never going to be that creator that tries an entire skincare line. And I know that that's not necessarily what people are always asking, but sometimes that is what they're asking. They'll be like, can you try this whole line? I want to know if it's good before I spend my money on it. And I'm like, skincare is so subjective. Even if it worked for me and then you went out and spent all of your money on it, like I have no way of knowing whether it's going to work for you. And like that to me is a hard thing to kind of like stake my reputation on. So if you ever have a specific skincare product, not an entire line, but a specific product that you are curious about, I can tell you whether or not I've tried it. I might integrate it into my routine or things like that, but I'm never going to drop my whole skincare routine and do another one brand skincare routine for like a month or 2 months or something. Ooh, J Kissa has a line with e.l.f.? Thank you. I will look into that. The Hourglass Setting Spray. I have it. I've been waiting for a really sunny day in order to do a really intense high stakes wear test of it. I want to do like wedding makeup, you know, and see if it can be totally bulletproof in like the least ideal of conditions, but it's just been kind of temperate and sort of like stormy for like the last 10 days here in Austin, and it's made it really difficult to try and film that video. So it is coming, but I'm just not in control over here. Okay, have you ever tried the Origins tinted lip balms? I have an Ulta gift card and I'm so tempted. Origins is not cruelty free. That is why I don't review Origins. Han mascara. I'm probably not going to be trying a bunch of clean beauty mascaras. They have really not blown my mind in the past, and I am very, very particular about having a tubing mascara. Everybody has their thing, you know, and this is just something that until I find another tubing mascara that I can compare to it, pretty much everything is just gonna be a pass for me, so there's really no point in me reviewing mascaras. Now, you say the Versed Mineral Sunscreen. Maybe that could be something that we can do. Drunk Elephant deodorant. I have already reviewed this. I'm wearing it right now. I'm obsessed with it. It is absolutely amazing. One person did write me and said it doesn't work for me at all. Deodorant is extremely personal, but it is the first thing in a long line of deodorants that has worked for me. Also, Lumi. You guys ask me about Lumi all the time. I have tried Lumi. Lumi relies on you putting it on every single day because you have to condition your armpits. I don't smell that bad. I don't sweat that much. I typically don't wear deodorant every day, and so Lumi just didn't, like, it wasn't part of my routine enough. Very interested in M Cosmetics, you guys. I made an M Cosmetics order like a month ago and I just got a shipping notification. I literally forgot about it. That's how long it took. And everything's out of stock on her website. It was not the most pleasurable shopping experience. A lot of this stuff is stuff that we already covered. Armani Skin Nude Foundation. Armani is not cruelty free. Not new. Ilia Color Haze. I have, oh, the question is Glossier dupe or no? Absolutely not. It is more like a lip gloss. I didn't buy it because it's very, very pricey, and I tried it in the store and I was like, this is the tiniest package ever and it is essentially a lip gloss. I don't need that much dewiness on my skin. And it is definitely not even close to Cloud Paint. Cloud Paint dries down and that one doesn't really. I'm curious about the different clean fragrances like Heretic. I'm not familiar with that one. I did do a little tour of my personal fragrance catalog in my vlog. I will link my vlog channel down below. Antonym Cosmetics, something that I just haven't gotten around to yet, but I should. I honestly should. Okay, Iris and Romeo makeup. We already talked about this. I have it somewhere. I was going to actually initiate a return with them, but it just, yeah, time went by. The issue with Iris and Romeo is that they only put out 5 shades and I ordered the lightest shade and it is way too dark for me, so I can't really review that. I mean, it's okay, but it's super overpriced and the shade range is abysmal. Honest Beauty CC Cream, another brand that has absolutely no excuse for having 4 shades of their CC cream. That shade range is appalling, so no. Nude sticks. I hear you guys request nude sticks all the time. Nude sticks is not cruelty free. It tries to be, and it rides the line, but according to like Cruelty Free Kitty and Ethical Elephant, it still is subject to animal testing within China, even though they try and kind of thread the needle on things, and so that's why I have stayed hands off with them. Clean anti-aging products including retinol and bakuchiol. So bakuchiol is pretty good, but I can't use retinol right now because I'm pregnant. Glossier Vanillic Lip. I have tried all of them. I own most of them. I absolutely love them. Check out some of my past Glossier videos because I absolutely love them. House Labs new eyeshadow palette. Are you guys interested in House Labs? That's definitely outside my comfort zone. Ole Henriksen, is the brand worth the money? I'm curious about the new vitamin C serum. They sent it to me. I've been trying it. It's pretty good. It's so heavily scented. Like, that is the thing about Ole Henriksen. I do like his bakuchiol, and I do like that scent better than their like super orangey scent. They sent me actually 3. They sent me a toner, the new banana cream, the Banana Bright vitamin C. Come on, Kackie. Serum. And they also sent me a moisturizer that is just not heavy enough for me. You guys, they remind me so much of the Thrive skincare line. The Ole Henriksen one is a little bit thicker and definitely a little bit more fragrance, but they both smell extremely, extremely similar, just super, super citrusy. And those moisturizers are like virtually identical. Oh, Revlon Photo Ready Candid Antioxidant Concealer. Revlon, not cruelty free, sorry. All right, and those were your questions for the most part. And we're just going to double check Trend Mood really fast and see if there's anything that I missed. I mean, once you go on Trend Mood, you just get slapped upside the head with Jeffree Star. He put out this new cremated palette and I'm just like, we get it. You're disruptive, whatever. Oh, okay, there's the J. Kissa collection from e.l.f. My goodness, that is rainbowy. Yeah, I don't see me trying that, guys. Oh boy, we are back in Rainbow Eyeshadowville. It is a thing, and I'm not complaining, it's just not my thing. Pat McGrath just keep on cranking out them luxury eyeshadow palettes. Oh, we have a new Naked palette, Ultraviolet. I will stick with my Aether Amethyst palette. Yeah, it feels like I haven't really missed anything here. Thank you guys so much for submitting your requests for products as to whether or not I was going to include them on my channel. Always, guys, you don't have to wait for a prompt. You can always ask me those kinds of things. I'm happy to entertain any possibilities, especially because I am only one human and you guys tell me so many things that are coming out that I didn't already know about. So thank you for that. So if you are playing along at home, I think that the only things that are coming home with me are the Rowan lip glosses and the PYT bronzer when it does come back into stock. And I might try that Versed mineral sunscreen that you guys are asking about. And if you want to know about the Tarte Hydro Sealer, like, maybe I'll put up a poll or something, but every time I ask, like, do we care about something about Tarte, I get like a resounding no on my Instagram. So put in your vote if you have, you know, something to say. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like I said, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, guys, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload, because sometimes it's a little bit random. I try to do it as often as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.